Yo, YouTube, are you looking to get stronger? You looking to build up strength? Well, introducing the Russian Strongman Program. Now, if you're at least an intermediate or an advanced lifter, you've probably already heard about the Russian Strongman Program. However, for the novice lifters, it's okay if you haven't heard about it. It somehow took me all this time to find out about this particular program, and it's helped me out so much. But before we get into all that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as that push notification bell so you get all my content as soon as it comes out. All right, now let's jump right into it. So in order to understand what the Russian Strongman Program is, we're actually gonna have to take it back all the way to the 70s. So in 1976, the Olympic Games were held in Montreal. The Soviet Union weightlifting team dominated the competition, winning 7 of 9 available gold medals. The 1976 USSR weightlifting yearbook was also published that year. This training program was developed over a course of 6 years. Basically, in a nutshell, these Russian scientists grabbed 105 different lifters and studied them over a course of 6 years like lab rats. What they concluded was that the main contributor of gains throughout all the compound lifts was, you guessed it, the squat. Squatting is looked upon as the most effective compound exercise. It basically works on almost every muscle group in the body. Now, 2021, almost 45 years later, this still remains a very popular training routine. The Russian Strongman Program is a 6-week program designated to break through plateaus and build strength.
Oh yeah!
Now, those that complete this program can typically expect anywhere between a 5 to 10% improvement on their 1 rep max. However, intermediate to novice lifters can expect upwards of 15 to 20% gains on their compound lifts for the 1 rep max. Therefore, this is very beneficial to those experiencing plateaus. I myself have attempted this program 2 different times. The intensity of this program began to take a toll on me after week 2, and basically I quit. So how exactly is the Russian Strongman Program structured? It breaks up the week into 3 training sessions per week. The first 3 weeks consist of fluctuating volume of around 80% of your 1 rep max for all compound lifts. Lifters can expect to maintain a high intensity throughout this whole entire program. Now, once you get to week 5, lifters can expect to be lifting anywhere between 90 to 100% of the 1 rep max throughout their lifts. And once you get to week 6, if you do the training properly, you should be able to exceed 100% of your 1 rep max throughout your lifts. The rest times that I chose for these sets were anywhere between 2 to 8 minutes, depending on the difficulty of that day. Now, the website in which I obtained the Excel spreadsheet that goes over the whole entire training program is going to be left in the link in my description, so you can go ahead and download it and edit it yourself and just input whatever your 1 rep max are. Now, the original spreadsheet comes with deadlift, bench press, squat, as well as back extensions. I myself excluded the back extensions because I was simultaneously training for a marathon while doing the Russian squat program. Now, as I stated earlier, this is not a program for newbies. This program is considered an intermediate level program. You must be comfortable with the basic compound movements, as I stated. For the majority of this program, I was using a 45-pound safety squat bar. The weight distribution is unique to this bar. This bar is known to apply load to the posterior chain or the muscles in the back of your body, such as your hamstrings, glutes, and lats. The safety squat bar is notorious for being more difficult than the average straight bar that normal lifters use. Studies have concluded that training with this bar will humble you, make no mistake about it. If used consistently, it will actually increase your squat more than the straight bar by an average of about 5 to 10%. 5 to 10%, that's worth something in the long run. Now, I myself am a firm believer of science, and I feel as though the studies that these Russian scientists came up with in the late 70s explain that squatting is very important, and it's one of the most beneficial things that we can do. It's obvious that squatting is the king of testosterone boosting exercises. Some people report noticeable fat loss from the Russian squat program. By decreasing fat and strengthening core muscles as well as leg muscles, I am better preparing my body for the grueling and excruciating pain of long distance running. Go. As a matter of fact, if you haven't already checked it out, go ahead and hit this link where it'll take you to my marathon preparation series. Now, in my marathon preparation series, season 1, I am training for the A1A Fort Lauderdale Publix Marathon on Valentine's Day 2021, where I am attempting to hit a sub 4-hour marathon. I actually attempted the Russian Strongman Program 2 different times. The first time I ended up quitting after the first 2 weeks. So basically what happened was I was hitting 80% of my 1 rep max for those first 2 weeks. But by the time I got to the 6th training session, I couldn't even squat more than 135 pounds. So essentially I had to go back to the drawing board. I stopped for a week, took rest, and I went back to the drawing boards and I realized, okay, why is it that I cannot squat more than 135? As the days go on, the load of my squat keeps going down. And I realized that my psoas muscle was ridiculously tight. And I think it's because of the running. That constant stressing, that fight or flight mode that I was constantly putting myself in. I mean, guys, I'm averaging 50 to 60 miles a week training for this marathon. You know what I'm saying? So I went back to the drawing boards, took a week off, did nothing but stretching, targeted that psoas muscle, loosened it up, and I started back about a week after I quit. I was able to squat 225 with no problem, bumped it up to my 80% of my 1 rep max, which is about 255, 260, and was able to knock out reps with the safety squat bar and all. Look, guys, numbers do not lie. I increased my squat by 13.5%. I increased my deadlift by 21%, and I increased my bench by approximately 9.5%. Like I said, numbers do not lie. Remember, at the same time, I'm training for a marathon while I'm pumping these numbers out. So in reality, on the last day of my Russian squat program, where you're supposed to 1 rep max, and you're actually supposed to hit 110% of whatever your 100% 1 rep max is, I actually ran 16 miles the night before maxing out on all my compound lifts. Guys, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that going from a 16-mile run, not giving your body more than 24 hours to rest, and jumping right into 1 rep max of these compound lifts, you're probably not gonna hit your actual 1 rep max. So I'm not recommending do what I do. However, I will strongly recommend the Russian Strongman Program if you could just do it by itself. Now, if you wanna test yourself and take things to another level, go ahead. I'm not recommending it, but if you're about that life, you're about that life.
Cause I'm gonna keep it G real. I don't with you cause you disrespecting me. You disrespect my hood by telling me take off my flag, asking how gangster I was.
At the end of the day, I far exceeded the expectations that I set for myself at the end of this program, and I'm happy with the results. Not only that, I just hit a new PR last night on my half marathon. Right, man. That's how you do it. That's how you hit a new PR right there. Damn. With the lifting, with the 1,000 push-ups, with all that. I don't want to hear no excuses from any of y'all. With that being said, though, that about wraps everything I've had to say about the Russian Strongman Program. Dro, out.